Come on, Pafone. So yeah, usually in the 4 on the episode that drops on the 20th, we like to talk about 4 events that are coming up. But let's just go ahead and say it. The 4 events that we're looking forward to, will be just coming back from Geekway. It was a great time. We know it will be. We're headed to Tremendicon. David Stansfield and his crew run a great convention. Then we're going to be at Moon City Con because we help run that. That's going to be a good time. Those are 3 of the events. But instead, we're going to talk about more games because you and I have been playing so many games.
Yes, all the games.
All the games. And
like a tremendous amount of Tremendy games.
And we're recording this right before we're going to Geekway. We have like 8 to 10 games we'd like to talk about, and that's before we play all the games at Geekway, and there's going to be more games to talk about.
Hopefully we will win some of those games.
That'd be nice.
The play-in wins.
Yeah, Geekway has a nice play-to-win selection, and, we'll see how that turns out, but you know what? The 417Gamers are a group of board, card, and tabletop gamers in the 417 area. This is the 417Gamer Podcast. Welcome to the 417Gamer Podcast, episode 40, the one with Crafting the Cosmos. In the 4, we talk about 4 more games that we've been playing in the 417 area. El Gaucho, Silk, Abandon All Artichokes, and Booby Trap. In the topic of the show, we review Crafting the Cosmos, published by Office Dog Games, designed by David Gordon and Tam. And in the 7, we talk about 7 more of our favorite small footprint games. Without further ado, the 417Gamer Podcast. Welcome to the 417Gamer Podcast. My name's Rick.
And I'm Andrea.
In the 4, we like to talk about 4 games that we've been playing recently. Up at the top of the show, we talked about it. We absolutely want to promote those events that are coming up. We'll probably have some ad spots in between the segments to talk about Tremendicon and Moon City Con. But we've been playing so many games.
All the games.
Andrea, what game do we want to talk about first?
Well, I'd like to talk about El Gaucho.
Yeah?
Which I thought was an older game because the box art was pretty vintage looking to me. But it wasn't. It was, what'd you say? It was 2019?
Yeah, well, let me see. It's Artichokes, which is a 2014.
14.
So it
is older. It is older.
And for as far as board games go, it's in the realm of maybe modern classic realm if people liked it as much as we did.
So I think you picked it up. I had never played Great Western Trail, and then a friend of ours introduced it to us, and I really enjoyed it because I grew up on a farm. I like selling the cows, and you're like, hey, this El Gaucho is supposed to be a simpler version of selling cows. Mm-hmm. And it was.
A lot simpler.
We played it with my brother, who's a very light gamer, and he enjoyed it.
Yeah. El Gaucho is designed by Arve Du Furler, and artist is Dennis Lohansen. In this game, you have the game board, and you flip out some cows, and they have different values, and as you're flipping them over, if they hit 20 or above, you stop filling that row.
Yes.
And you go to the next ones. Then you have a dice pool, and that's your wrangling ability, per se.
And you roll them out in this nice little corral, and it's got little fences that you put around. I really am digging the theme.
And then each round, you're going to draft 2 dice. And with those dice, you're either going to put your gauchos on cattle. If you have the full amount, you can just put your gaucho on that cow, and once that row is completely filled full of gauchos, you'll get a cow. Or there's kind of special actions that you can go put your gauchos out. Some of them allow you, like, it's the wish pile where you get to pretend like you have an extra die.
Yeah.
Another one lets you steal somebody else's cows.
But there's cow insurance, so if someone steals your cow, you still get the money for it.
Yeah, you get the direct value of the cow. Then there's, like, a secret cow pool where you can go over to this oasis and then look through the secret stack that only you get to look through for that round till the next person goes the next round and get you a cow. It's really cool. And then as you sell your cows, whenever you place your cows out, they have to go by their breed. Mm-hmm. And you have to either go ascending or descending. As soon as you draft a cow that does not follow that rule, you have to sell that pool of cows. And it's how many cows you have in the pool multiplied by the highest value. So if you have a 10, 5, and a 3, you have 3 tiles, and you sell them all at 3 times 10 for 30 points. Mm-hmm. Pretty easy, really nice. And so I didn't pick this. We had, at Moon City Con a few years ago, we had a map swap. And I was in the middle of running something, whether it was battling tops or pitch car or something like that. And Catherine's like, what do you want me to do? I'm like, hey, pick for me. You know what I like. Yeah. And El Gaucho, she says she'd played it before. And she goes, it's cute. It's not the heaviest, but I think you'll like it. She was absolutely right.
She was right. And this game will probably never leave our collection. Not because it's the most fantastic of board games, no, but because of the art on the cow tiles, or cards. We will put in the show notes or on the YouTube video my favorite cow picture, which is a cow that has stepped in a cow pile, and he's just got this look
disgusted.
Of shock and horror on his face.
Can you believe they put this stuff out here?
And it makes me laugh every time I look at it. So, yeah, we're going to keep this game.
What's the next game we're going to talk about?
Silk.
So, Silk is by DeVere Games. Last year, we played Sand, which I think is in the same kind of universe, per se. They've got the silkworms, and, you're on this one, you're trying to breed your silkworms and grow them and feed them in pastures, and it's kind of a action selection movement game where your herder can move the silkworms and so can your sheepdog, but the sheepdog can also scare away the one monster that's trying to eat the silkworms. Mm-hmm. And then you're also trying to build walls to keep the monster out of your silkworms. And then the walls are kind of help build you like an area control aspect, so if you can house in so many tiles with the walls, you can get a mid-game bonus scoring in the middle. The mid-game. That's the middle. Silk is designed by Luis Renato, and the artist is Rock Espinette. It was nice.
The pieces are nice. I like the little dog and sheep herder and the little monster that you move around the grid.
Yeah, and it's got that almost Avatar: The Last Airbender type art. / Miyazaki, kind of in between. I liked it, and we played it at 2, and we both knew that this would probably play way better at 3 and 4, because there's some aggressive moves to move, because if you roll the monster, you got to move the monster.
Right.
And playing, we found out in the rules that the board wraps. And it was, the way we placed all of our worms, it was really easy to get that monster to jump on the other side and start gobbling up worms.
Right.
Which for a 2-player game can get mean real quick.
Oh, yeah.
And I think that would be even funnier with 3, because then you got a triangle of people just sending the monster to go eat.
Right.
It was cute. It's fun.
I definitely want to play it with more players.
I want another play of it with more players, but I don't know that this is going to have legs to stay in our collection. We've talked about it before. We're kind of a one in, one out, and it's not a large box by any means, but we're kind of getting full up on the small, medium box games too.
Yeah. Speaking of games that might not get to stay in our collection, Abandon All Artichokes.
This is devices between the two of us. So we played Abandon All Artichokes on a game night where you brought one of your friends from work. And she was up to play some games, and we threw like 5 or 6 games at her.
Mm-hmm. And one of the members of our group, Jen, had this new game, Abandon All Artichokes, that none of us had ever played before except her. And honestly, I said, hey, let's play that just so I could say Okidoki Artichoke without knowing anything about the game. Wish I hadn't.
Yeah, you didn't care for it, and I thought it was great. I was like, oh, you want to get this? And she's like, please, God, no. So, Abandon All Artichokes is designed by Emma Larkins, and it's published by Gamewright. In Abandon All Artichokes, you have a hand. You start with a deck full of artichokes. Mm-hmm. The goal is to be able to draw a hand of 5 cards, or if you don't have it, up to your hand, and not have any artichokes in there. Be that by shedding all of your cards, including artichokes, or grabbing vegetable cards to supplement it. So on your turn, you're going to grab a card out of the drafting row, and then take its effect. And then if you have any more vegetables from previous turns, you get to play anything that's in your hand and take those effects. Mm-hmm. And a lot of them are composting artichokes, or swapping your cards with another player, or everybody swapping cards. Pulling this allows you to grab some off the draw deck and throw those in your deck. I like the actions. I thought it was fun. But myself and Jen, who taught us the game, I think we were in the minority. You didn't care for it. Your friend from work didn't care for it. And we had another Ethan 1 or 2 players that were kind of meh. And yeah. So if we're on another game night, I might slide over and play Abandon All Artichokes while you play that.
You sure can.
And last but not least, what are we talking about?
Booby Trap.
Booby Trap.
Speaking of older games.
Right. So Booby Trap is from 1965.
Yeah, that's right, folks. 1965.
And I think it was originally called Oh Snap, but this is from the 60s. It's a Parker Brother box from my parents. My dad and his family on the Bagwell side. We had a family grilling, an outing. We grilled burgers, and everybody's starting to get up there in age, and we're trying to gather because we don't get to see each other as much anymore. Because we used to have, the big family Christmases, the big family, memorials, or
family reunions.
Right, and we don't get them as much because the family's growing and everybody has their busy lives. So a lot of the family, or some of the family, are pushing to try and maybe do quarterly or every 6 months we get together and do something like this.
Yeah.
Grilled burgers, they were delicious. Everybody brought some stuff.
Yeah.
But in the gaming closet, my niece, who is 5 or 6, she found Booby Trap. And Booby Trap is a cooperative game that has a wood frame with a spring-loaded slat where you put all these red, blue, and yellow pieces of varying sizes in. You let the slats compress against the pieces, and then the rules that I read from the PDF, because the box is so old and washed out that I couldn't read rules on it.
No rule book.
I found a PDF that gave me cooperative rules, where you're all trying to pull pieces and score as many points. If the slat moves too many, because there's like a ruling edge on one of the sides, if it moves too far, the pieces that were pulled are lost to the void. You put them on the other side of the slat and you don't score those. Yeah. But everything else you're successful in pulling, you score them. The little yellow pieces are 1s, the medium blues are 2s, and the big reds are 3s. Yeah. And we played that. It was cute. It was fun. It's not something we're going to add to our collection and seek out our own copy.
No.
But
it was a nice dexterity game.
Yeah, and a game from the 60s that still, the spring still, everything still worked.
Yeah, it was great.
It was a cool little thing. So that was the 4 and the 417Gamer podcast.
Tremendicon is taking place May 30th through June 1st at the Oasis Hotel and Convention Center. Tremendicon is more than just another comic convention. Following Tremendicon's principles of education, inspiration, encouragement, collaboration, and charity, Tremendicon is a non-profit convention experience where real educational experiences are available to attendees. From professionals in their creative roles, attendees get to have an interactive and face-to-face opportunity to foster creativity. Artists paint canvases of education and discussion. Writers delve into their craft of weaving tales. Game designers sharing details of the minutiae of game development are just a few of the tracks that Tremendicon is proud to offer. Tremendicon takes place May 30th through June 1st at the Oasis Hotel and Convention Center. For attendee badges and or information, head over to Tremendicon.com.
The 1 and the 417Gamer podcast is the topic of the show. We are reviewing the energy management cosmic crafting game called
Crafting the Cosmos.
Crafting the Cosmos is designed by David Gordon and Tam. It is published by Office Dog Games. Crafting the Cosmos, on your turn... Well, Crafting the Cosmos, you are crafting your own very own cosmos. Through building nebulas, putting out stars, and finding life. On your turn, there's a center portion where you're going to get your resources that has marbles. You're going to move your marble at least once, and then you can move the black marbles up to 2 more times. You get 3 movements, I should say. You have to move yours once, but you can move the black marbles as well. Once they're done, you get passive and active materials. Wherever your marble is, you get both the active and the passive results, and then all the other places you get passive results according to how many marbles are in those slots. Those passive results are movements in your cosmos, time crystals, cards, energy cards that can be used for activation, getting points, or getting additional abilities. And then proto-life. Proto-life, you start off with unstable purple life blobs that are floating out in your cosmos.
Tiny life blobs.
Yeah, that eventually that you want to evolve into found life. In the active spot, you are going to get the stars, which are chemical elements. You'll get an oxygen star, a helium,
hydrogen,
a carbon.
Oxygen, carbon.
So depending on where your marble is, you will get that active ingredient and then potentially something else along with it. So if you're in the one with carbon, which one gives you the helium? Helium gives you 2 helium, and it also lets you cause a supernova, which is turning one of your chemical stars upside down, and now it's a wild resource.
Yeah.
The nice thing is it's a wild resource. It can be anything. But they're slotted in points on your board to where they can touch either 2 or 3 nebula. But once a nebula is surrounded by all the chemicals it needs, it flips over, you get the points, and you burn out one of those stars. Stars of a given symbol can be moved with those movement points I talked about earlier. But if it's a supernova and it's wild, it cannot be moved. Now, you can burn that one up whenever you find your nebula. You also, when you put your life in there, when it surrounds a nebula that you have found and powered up, you can then find advanced life. If you are able to stabilize the proto-life into green stabilized life, whenever you find advanced life, the green stabilized life stay on your board. The purple proto-life are burned up. And you get these little advanced life tokens that are anywhere from like 5 to 8, I think. The nebulas, when you make them, are instant points. The advanced life are in-the-game points that people don't get to see until the end.
Yeah.
In addition to that, you have, at the end of each round, there's potential goals that'll pop up for whoever has the most nebula in the Psi region or the Delta region, the most stable life, the most unstable life. Stuff like that will pop up, and whoever has the most gets 6 points, whoever has the second most gets 3 points.
There are also bonus cards that you get that give you an ability that says you can, if you discard one of these bonus cards, you can move a star, or discard 2 blue cards to be able to move a life. You can accumulate those through the game, and those are ongoing powers that you can play every time you have a turn.
Yep. And then as you acquire the time crystals, your time crystal measurement will go up to 7, and when it hits 7, you can then cash that in to get an element of your choice. Now, those powers you alluded to may allow you to do something different instead, but each time you cash a time crystal in that way, you're going to get points. The first one is worth 3, second is worth 6, 12, keeps on going up. The more time crystals you cash in, the more points. Now, there's 2 ways that the game ends. Either you run out of time crystals, or you go through all 6 of the round scoring cards. Once you do that, score it up, you add all the secret advanced life tokens you found, and whoever has the most points wins.
The thing that really draws me to this game is that it's just beautiful.
It is.
The star tokens, gorgeous. The way that they're made, I've never seen pieces like them before. The nebulas are beautiful. The board's beautiful. Everything about it. Even the box art is beautiful.
Yeah. The way we review these games, we review them in a 1 to 5 scale in 5 criteria. Presentation. How does the box art and game look on your shelf and also in a retail setting? As well as how does the game look for everybody when it's set up? Do people come around and look at it and go, ooh, and awe? Because it makes you feel good as a gamer. Then we look at components and rulebook. How much do you like those components? How easy is it to get through that rulebook? Gameplay. How much fun do you have with that game? Is it intuitive? Is it hard to get through? Theme. Does the theme really shine through the game? And is the theme, does it pull you back into the game that makes you want to play it more? And then it factor. How much do you want to play that game?
Yeah.
Presentation, Andrea, what are you giving Crafting the Cosmos?
55.
55. Wow.
On our scale of 1 to 5.
Yeah. I'm going to give this a 4.8 because this is pretty darn... It's gorgeous. The little stars are overproduced. The proto-lives are cute looking. We'll get into the components here in a minute. The box is gorgeous. I love that art from Office Dog Games. It's different from anything we have on our shelf.
Oh, widely different. And in my opinion, this is the most beautiful, quote, game that we have.
Yeah, I think it'd be... I mean, it's almost as pretty as El Gaucho. A huge shout out to Jess from Board Game or Village Meeple, not Board Game. Village Meeple. She's the one that brought this, and she goes, "I think you guys will like this game. You should play this." And she's like, "Come back next time. We'll teach it." And you was like, "We'll just buy it."
Yeah.
So we bought it on her suggestion, and we do like it. Components and rulebook. The rulebook was easy to get through. The components are nice, except for we have one complaint.
The little proto-life tokens are teeny tiny, and to evolve them into stable life, you have to flip them upside down.
Yeah.
They fit in little grooves in your board, and they're so tiny, they're hard to pick up and flip over.
We've all, I think every game we've played thus far, one of us has flipped one into the ground, and they look like little nerds. Little nerds candy?
Little purple nerds.
Yes. And we have a dog that is 85, 90 pounds that anything he hits the floor, he wants to go investigate with his tongue. So we have to get there first. And understand that's with any component, but with as tiny as these components are, he's going to think they're a nerd. I think they're a nerd. I haven't tasted them yet. Maybe they're nerds.
They're going to be crunchy.
The star pieces are gorgeous.
Oh, beautiful.
The player boards are dual layered. The vacuum lined board that sits in the middle that everybody activates their marbles on, it fits. It's nice. It does great for what it is.
And it boxes up great. I know a lot of games that we have, when it goes to putting it back into the box, you have to Tetris them just right to be able to get the lid back on.
Oh, we had to Tetris this one too, but we had to just figure it out.
We did, but once we figured out how it goes, the components can stay in their little compartments.
Yeah. And
I think they did a great job, in my opinion.
So, components, what are you giving it?
I'm going to give it a 4.75.
Really?
Not giving it a higher value just because of the tiny proto-lives, but everything else, gorgeous.
I'm giving it a 4.25 because I've had to go after the piece on the floor twice because the dog was after it. And our dear friend Ethan came by and he hit one too, and he's like, "Oh, crap." And he went diving for it.
Yeah, but how many cards have fallen on the floor? How many dice have fallen on the floor of other games that we have?
But a card and a dice we can locate pretty quick. The proto-life...
Okay, now you got me there. That thing is tiny.
Yeah. So I'm at a 4.25. And that's my big knock, is that little bitty piece. And it's we make the comment every time we play the game. And if we make that comment enough, it sticks.
Okay.
Gameplay. The gameplay to me kind of feels not too dissimilar from gizmos where you're moving around marbles.
Yeah.
Different but similar, and I know it's because there's just marbles.
Sure.
And all you're doing is moving the marbles in a circle around the different elements or the different... You've got chemistry, you've got time, movement, and what's the other one?
Science.
Sure, science. You're probably right. Anyway, when you move your marbles around, that's how you get your resources. Mm-hmm. The cool thing is once you've done your gather step, you go into crafting. Once you're crafting, the next player can start doing their gather.
Yeah, because you've gotten all your resources, gathered your resources, and you can start your crafting. And it might take you a minute to decide where's a better place to put your helium.
Yeah. Because
you could use it for any of the 3 galaxies around it. And the other person can start their turn.
The gameplay is really, really fun. I like it. I'm going to give it a flat 4. I think it's intuitive. I think it's fun. The teach so far is just slightly awkward, but I think that's me not feeling it out. The people I've taught in this game is just similar to, but not similar to other things we have.
Yeah, I agree. I will give it I'll give it a 4.0 as well. Having said that, if you like sciencey stuff, this game, you would be like, oh, that's a 5.
Oh, yeah. Brings us to theme. Do you really feel like you're crafting your own cosmos?
Kind of do, yeah. Okay. I feel like a scientist.
Like, ooh, I'm gonna do that nebula. Yeah, that nebula now needs a whole bunch of helium and oxygen. I don't have those stars. I need to go get those stars. So this really evokes to you that you're creating your own little cosmos over there.
Yeah, this has more theme than a lot of the other. I'm not saying I don't know that I would call this a heavy game.
No, I think this is not quite a gateway game. I would say this is like a next step.
Yeah. Oh no, it's not.
Did you play the Ticket to Ride or Splendor with us?
Yeah.
This is either the next step or the step after the step.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
It's not too much heavier than a Lords of Waterdeep in my mind. It's just different mechanics.
Yeah.
So theme, what are you going to give it?
4.5.
4.5. For me, this is I think the theme just kind of sings through it. I like the time crystals. I like all the stuff it does. The art is nice. It conveys what it is. I'm at 4.25. I don't know. It's a feeling thing on that one for me.
Okay.
And then it factor. How much do you want to play Crafting the Cosmos?
This, I would say, is a game you need to be in the mood to play.
Yeah.
In my opinion.
Yeah. Is that just because it's so different from the other stuff we usually play?
Yeah, I think so. You're not playing against another player. Obviously, the person who gets the most points wins.
Yeah.
But you're just doing your own thing on your own board.
So it's multiplayer solitaire to a point.
Yeah.
So not a whole lot of direct interaction, or no direct interaction.
There isn't, other than waiting for someone else to do their turn.
So, it factor?
4.25.
4.25. See, for me, I think it is because it's the multiplayer solitaire, and I like it. If you want to play it, I'd absolutely play it. But it's down the list of stuff I would want to play now that we played it enough times to review it. I'm at a 3.8, and that's not bad.
Yeah.
That's just, out of the games we have, it's not up there. The presentation, awesome, gorgeous. The components of the rulebook, really nice. Gameplay's good. Theme sings through it.
Yeah.
It factor, I'm just a little bit down from the rest of it.
Sure.
So presentation, Andrew, you had it a 5. I had a 4.8. Components of rulebook, you were at a 4.75. I was at 4.25. Gameplay, we're both 4 straight across. Theme, you're at 4.5. I'm at 4.25. It factor, you're at 4.25, and I'm at 3.8. Take the grade total, divide by the possible points. Your final score for Crafting the Cosmos, published by Office Dog Games, is a 90. Mine is an 84.4, which we're going to round up to an 85.
Woo-hoo!
That's pretty darn good.
It is pretty good.
So yeah, I absolutely think if you're going to conventions this season, if you see Crafting the Cosmos in their lending library or a play-to-win section or something like that, give it a try. It's gorgeous. It's fun. There's some really good play-to-learn videos out on the webs. The book is not that hard to get through.
Yeah.
But
the only game I can think of that has a better table presence would be something like Foundations of Rome with the beautiful statues and stuff. Other than that, it's a good-looking game.
It is a good-looking game. Well, that was the topic of the show, the review of Crafting the Cosmos. I think in the 7, let's talk about 7 more small footprint games.
Yes.
All right,
we have many to talk about.
We do!
Moon City Con for Meeple Kind is headed to the Hilton Garden Inn in Springfield, Missouri, June 6th through the 8th. Get your badges at mooncitycon.com. That's right, we're headed to Saturn this year. We invite board gamers of all ages to join us on Titan this June. On Saturn's largest moon and the second largest in the entire solar system. This year we're excited to introduce brand new events and thrilling challenges for everyone to enjoy. And of course, we're bringing back fan favorites, including the best play-to-win selection in Springfield, daily prizes, and vendor raffles. Also, we'll be having our first ever silent charity auction, benefiting the Care Animal Rescue Clinic. Don't miss this chance to be a part of an unforgettable gaming adventure. Register now, and together, let's conquer Titan for all Meeple kind. Get your badges at mooncitycon.com, and we'll see you in Springfield, Missouri, June 6th through the 8th at the Hilton Garden Inn.
The 7 in the 417Gamer podcast is 7 of our favorite in the given category. The previous episode that dropped on the 10th was our top 7 small footprint games. We're going to give you 7 more. So we're going to start at number 14, Point Salad. This is published by AEG Games, and it's designed by several people. What is Point Salad, Andrea?
It's a card game that on one side of the card is points that'll say something like you get 2 points for every carrot you have, or for every set of 3 peppers you get 8 points. The other side of the card is your vegetables, and there are carrots, tomatoes, peppers, lettuce, cabbage, and onions.
Yeah.
You're trying to fulfill your point cards, so every time it comes to you, you can pick up either 2 vegetables or 1 point card.
Yeah.
And you set them out in the middle of the table. Every time somebody takes a vegetable, you'll flip over a point card and it becomes a vegetable. You can, in my opinion, getting more point cards is good because you can have a smaller number of vegetables. Your vegetables can be counted towards every single point card, not just one. So that is my strategy.
But we've also seen some people that'll focus in on a vegetable or 2 and grab every point card that goes with them. We saw somebody be the Cabbage King one time.
Yeah.
And was getting 4 points on this card, 3 points on that card, 5 points for every pair. And he just grabbed every cabbage and every cabbage point card and did pretty darn well that way. So there's different strategies to play, as you alluded to. Some are going to win, some are going to lose.
Yeah. I think this has become a very popular game in our game group.
Yeah.
Lots of us have it, and because it is so quick and easy, it gets played a lot.
It's one of those palate cleansers at the end of the night that after you've just played a brain-burning game where people are like, I got to go to work in the morning, because our game night's Thursdays. Most people have to work on the Friday. People are like, all right, I'm going to go home, go to bed, get ready for work in the morning. And then you're like, oh, are you playing Point Salad? I can do Point Salad.
I can do that.
Which is great.
Yeah.
Tells you how good that is for a filler, or for this one, a small footprint game.
Yes.
All right, the number 13.
That's pretty clever.
Or the German Ganz Schön Clever. This is published by Stronghold Games in the States. It's designed by Wolfgang Warsch, who did Quacks Quedlinburg.
Oh, well, this is a roll and write.
It is.
Literally, that's what it is. You roll dice and you write them down. You roll more dice, you write them down. It is a definition of a roll and write.
So you have different colored of dice. You have yellow, orange, purple, green, white, and blue. You have an active player that'll roll the dice, and they will get to cash in up to 3 dice. They'll roll dice, cash a dice. They'll get to re-roll any die that was equal to or lower in value of what they cashed the first time. Do it again, and potentially do it again. All of the inactive players then get to write down one of the dice that active player did not pick. And all those inactive players can pick the same die, whatever. But each of those die correspond with different mini-games. So yellow has kind of rows and columns that you're trying to fill in. And as you fill in a column, they're worth points. As you fill in a row, it gives you like bonus abilities. Mm-hmm. Blue is similar, however. Whenever you cash in blue, you have to add up blue and white's value together. So the blue values start at 2 and go to 12. Then green gets progressively bigger. You need to cash in at least a 1 value or bigger, then 2, then 3, then 4, then 5. Then it kind of resets for a little bit and goes back up again. 2, then 3, then 4, then 5. Orange, you can put anything in there. Blue, you get points based off how many boxes you've crossed off. Green, you cross off how many boxes, that's what points you get. Orange, however, you can put whatever dice value you want. And at the end of the game, you add up the values, and that's your score in orange. Purple is the same, but the values always have to get smaller. So if you put in a 5, then you can put a 4, then you can put a 3, then you put a 2, then you put a 1. And then the only way to keep on putting dice values in there is to hit a 6, and it resets. And as you go through the green, the orange, and the purple, there's little bonuses that you can achieve once you check off a certain box. Really fun. We play it quite a bit. I play the crap out of the apps.
Yeah.
This is one where I would say that no, because I played the app first. Mm. I was told about it. I grabbed the app, and then we got the physical copy. I'm like, ooh, the physical copy is just as good.
Yeah.
And it is. Mm-hmm. I was going to say the app's better, but I don't think it is. I think they're both good.
Yeah, I agree.
So that was 13. Uh-huh. So we go to 12.
Fantasy Realms.
And Fantasy Realms is growing on us quite a bit because of
Marvel Remix.
The scoring app. I love Marvel Remix, but I like Marvel Remix better than Fantasy Realms because I find Marvel Remix easier to score.
But now that you have the scoring app...
Yeah. The scoring app that you can just scan your cards.
No, you just literally hold your phone up over your hand and it take a picture and it just tells you have this many points.
Yep. And there's some cards at the end that you have to make decisions on, like the doppelganger gets to copy one card in your hand. You have to pick which card you copy. You just click on it, and then it scores your hand for you. Fantastic game. So Marvel has the Marvel theme, and I do really like that. Mm-hmm. Fantasy Realms has a generic fantasy, so there's empresses, princesses, armies,
dragons, wizards.
Yep.
Artifacts.
Yeah, artifacts like the Sword of Keth, Shield of Keth. If you get them both, you get points. The Gem of Order, you get points if you can get things in sequential orders.
Yeah.
It's really fun. I like it a lot. And that's all I got to say about that one.
It's another cute little card game.
So that was 12. Mm-hmm. That brings us to 11.
Number 9.
Number 9, I champion the crap out of. It is published by Z-Man Games. It's a kind of one of those flip and fill style games. However, instead of writing anything down, you have these tiles that are numbers. And you put the tiles upon one another. The rule is to build upon previous tiles. The number that is up on the next level must be fully supported. There can't be any gaps below it. And it must touch more than one tile below it. You don't get points for anything on the base level because you multiply what floor that tile's on by its value. Mm-hmm. So if it's on the base floor, that's 0. The first floor is 1, so 1 time whatever that number value, then 2, then 3. We've seen some people get up to the 4th floor.
Yeah.
We have 2 copies of this game, and we've played Mega Number 9 1 time. Those scores were wildly different.
We should bring this more often. I forget how much I like this one.
Yeah.
Until we talk about it.
This is designed by Peter Wickman, and our copies are published by Z-Man Games. Does that bring us to what, 10?
Number 10, Trails of Tucana.
We like Trails of Tucana a lot.
It's a flip and feel, not a roll and write.
Yep. You have scratch pads once again. It's an island with a hex grid. You flip over 2 cards that give you different terrains on your island. There's desert, water, forest, mountains, and wild.
And a wild.
Yeah. Then you flip over the 2, and you must draw a path between 2 of those hexes that share that. Mm. You're eventually trying to connect the ports to the various items on the island that you're trying to get, that you're trying to find. You're trying
artifacts,
to find
yeah.
Artifacts, bugbears, which they call a yeti. He looks like a bugbear. Toucans, sea monsters.
A book.
And then you're also trying to connect the ports of the same letters.
Mm-hmm.
So you're trying to connect the A to A and the B to B. And the first person to connect a port letter gets a bonus card on top of the points that they get for connecting the port. This is designed by Krishman Osman Otsby and Ellis Svensson. And this is published by Aporta Games. They made a Builders of Tucana where you put tiles instead of the tablet or the scratch pad.
Huh.
I like the scratch pad better.
I was going to say that would keep it in the scratch pad, keeps it in the small footprint.
Yeah, I think so. And it's something, once again, at a cafe, everybody just give her a piece of paper, and they've got the smallest pencils in the world.
They do, those little tiny golf pencils.
Welcome to. They both have tiny pencils.
Yeah.
I kind of get made fun of when I bring them out. What number are we on to?
Number 9, One Night Werewolf.
Yeah.
Social deduction game.
And so the resistance is close. Although I think you need more shoulder room for the resistance, because if you... I don't know. And also, I think One Night Werewolf is slightly better than the resistance anyway. One Night Werewolf is werewolf. It distilled into one night. Everybody has a roll. Then you put your tiles down. There's also 3 tiles in the middle that nobody is. Mm-hmm. Then there's a really nice app that is voiced by Eric Summerer. Or I can do the app or I used to be able to do the app from memory. I don't know if I can. I've not done it in a few years. Anyway, you have everybody close their eyes. Werewolves will wake up and find other werewolves. Then they'll close their eyes. And then the seer will wake up. They will grab somebody's tile and look at it, or they will look at 2 of the tiles in the middle and knowing that nobody can claim those roles, then they will close their eyes. Then you have the troublemaker will swap 2 roles of 2 people's. Then you'll have the thief that will swap their role with somebody else's. You have an insomniac that will wake up last, peek at their card, make sure they still are who they are. Mm. And then you have other roles. You might have the minion. He will wake up after the werewolves, find out who the werewolves are, but they won't know who he is. Yeah. You'll have a hunter, and if he's killed during the lynch, he gets to take somebody with him. You have the tanner that wants to die, and if he gets killed, he's the only one that wins. So once you've done all this, you then put on a timer. And I think the app is, I think it's 5 minutes is just the automatic, or you can put it longer or shorter as you wish. And you argue over what you did during that one night phase. At the end of the time, you count down 3, 2, 1, and you point at the person that you think you need to lynch upon suspicion of them being a werewolf. Mm-hmm. Now, if you are the werewolf, you're trying to make as much chaos and confusion so they won't lynch you or your compadre. And then whoever's received the most of the finger points, with at least 2... then you get lynched and we find out who you were. If the town got a werewolf, town wins. If the town lynched a town member, town loses. But once again, I said if the tanner was able to get themselves killed, they're the only people that won.
Yeah.
Very fun, plays really quick. When it first came out, we played the crap out of it. It is one of my century plays. I played 100 games of this. I played 100 games of the game that we mentioned in the week previous episode. Really like it. You played it a few times.
Mm-hmm.
And I probably need to bring this out a few more times, too.
It's a great party game.
Yep.
Number 8, Scout. Another back to card games.
Yes. This is an oink game. Scout. So the theme of it is you're running a circus troupe. But the theme is just kind of on the cards. Designed by Kei Kanjino. The artist is also done by that. And I think there's new art that has been published locally. Not locally. There's a new J-hook plaster version that you keep score on a score pad. But otherwise, the little oink box has these dollar tokens. They have point tokens. On your turn, you're going to either scout or show. If you show, you're going to play cards in either sets or runs. And when you pull them from your hand, they must be adjacent. And whenever you're given your hand, you cannot reorganize it. The next player can either show, as long as they can show something better and stronger than what you've got, and take your cards as trick or points. Or not but they are points if they take them as a trick. Or they can scout from your hand. When they scout from what you played, they take either outside of cards. So if you played 4 cards, they can take the leftmost or the rightmost, never the middle. Now they can take that card and add it to their hand. All the cards have 2 values. They have a top side value and a bottom side value. What you're playing from your hand is always from the top side. But when you scout, when you take that card, you can decide whether you want to put it in your hand in the top side or the bottom side value. And you can put it wherever in your hand you want to. So that's how to rework your hand to make stronger runs, stronger sets. Plays really fun. It's got that trick-taking taste that a lot of people grew up with hearts and spades and stuff like that. But it's got enough of a twist to it that it gives people like that, oh, this is interesting.
Yeah.
So, that was Scout. What was that? You say it was number...
That was number 8.
Oh, we're done?
We are.
Wow. I don't know what to say. There's other small footprint games we haven't mentioned. We didn't mention Skull. That's a great one. Flip 7's been hitting around a lot. Castle Combo, something we've been playing lately. We've been playing the crap out of. Yeah. Did we miss any small footprint games that you're really hot on? Well, if so, head on over to our Instagram at the 417Gamer Podcast. Let us know. But until next time, goodbye!
Goodbye! The 417 Gamer podcast is recorded and produced by Andrea and Rick Bagwell. The intro music we use, Kind, Gentle, Beautiful Person, and the outro music, Making Up for Last Time, was created by Origami Replica. For links to our show notes, music, and guest links, head over to our Facebook page at facebook.com/Hobby Gaming Network. Until next time, keep gaming in the 417.